All right, we'll get started. I will call to order the City of Milton Common Council meeting this Tuesday, May 5th at 6 p.m. Can I get confirmation of appropriate meeting notice?
Meeting agendas were posted at Milton City Hall, Milton Piggly Wiggly, and Hometown Ace Hardware.
Thank you. Approval of agenda.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have an agenda. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments regarding items which can be affected by council action. Is there anyone signed in?
We do not have anyone signed in for public comment at this time.
Thank you. 5, approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Number 6, discussion and possible action regarding the special event permit application received from the American Legion Post 367 for the Memorial Day celebration on May 25th, 2026. This is in your packet today because of the alcohol that'll be on site for the event. But does anybody have any questions or a motion to approve?
I have a clarifying question. In one section of the application, it states that tents will be used, but then in the Class B liquor license, it states they will not be used. Jenny, do you have a clarification?
The liquor will actually be served inside of the Veterans Park Pavilion, so they may choose to use tents for the outside area. I know there was a concern in the past that they've mentioned about if it is extremely sunny or for weather related, but not related to the liquor license.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve the special event permit for the American Legion Post 367 for the Memorial Day celebration on May 25th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 7, discussion and possible action regarding the inclusion of lead testing and lead-safe removal standards in the Residential Exterior Improvement Grant Program and Commercial Facade Grant Program.
The Community Development Authority discussed and recommended adding language to both the Commercial Facade Grant and the Residential Exterior Improvement Program Grant applications regarding lead testing and removal. The proposed language would add clear disclaimer and compliance requirements related to lead-safe renovation practices for all grant recipients. Specifically, it places responsibility on the applicant to determine whether the lead-safe renovation, repair, and painting rule applies, and to ensure full compliance with all applicable federal and state requirements. Overall, the addition strengthens the city's position on clarifying applicant responsibilities and limiting liability while maintaining a streamlined administrative role. The primary policy consideration is balancing reduced city oversight with ensuring applicants have a sufficient understanding of their regulatory obligations. There's no fiscal impact for the city for adding this language, and city administration recommends approval of the updated Residential Exterior Improvement Program application and guidelines, the Facade Improvement Guidelines, and the Facade Improvement Program application. The Community Development Authority also met yesterday and did forward a recommendation for approval of these guidelines and grant applications.
Any questions or comments?
I'm glad to see this on these documents now, so I make a motion to approve the updated Residential Exterior Improvement Program application and guidelines, the Facade Improvement Guidelines, and the Facade Improvement Program application with the lead language.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Can I just get a quick clarification? So the city is not gonna, it's all on the people that get the grants to ensure that they're using the right contractors. If they don't use the right contractors, is there any recourse? Is it built into the language at all?
No, it is not. It is telling them that they are required by law to do so.
Any other questions? Then we have a motion on the table. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding ordinance 2026-588, amending section 2-322 of the Code of Ordinances regarding Parks and Recreation Commission membership.
The proposed ordinance amends Section 2-322 of the Municipal Code to reduce the Parks and Recreation Commission membership by 2 positions. The proposed ordinance amendment reduces the size of the Parks and Rec Commission from its currently structure by eliminating 2 positions. This change reflects a policy decision to streamline the commission's composition. Specifically, this eliminates the standing position of the director of the gathering place and a resident member, which is currently not filled. The Parks and Recreation Commission requested this change and have reviewed and approved it. The director of the gathering place has also been consulted regarding the removal of the position and is in agreement. Fiscal impact, there's no fiscal impact to the city to approve this ordinance. City recommends approval of ordinance 2026-588, an ordinance amending section 2-322 of the Code of Ordinances regarding Parks and Recreation Commission membership. As a reminder, enactment of an ordinance requires a first, second, and third reading with a motion to adopt. If the council prefers, the second and third reading may be waived at the same time as the first reading is completed.
Any questions or a motion on this one? Seems straightforward.
I'll make a motion regarding ordinance 2026-588, amending section 2-322 of the Code of Ordinances regarding Parks and Rec Commission membership. And I am going to waive the second and third and adopt the first reading.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion at all? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Number 9, discussion and possible action on mayor and alderperson's compensation. Thank you, Paul. All right, so just a little bit of background how we got here. I asked Paul to look into this item. I was curious, mainly, and I knew we hadn't touched it in a really long time. And in leading any organization, you want to ensure that the people that represent it and are working for it are paid fairly and compensated for their time. Before I even knew there was a state law that prohibited from giving it to ourselves, I told Paul, and I don't want this to apply to us, but I'd like to set it for future, or to set a cadence so that that the folks that represent this body are paid fairly. I think we cut out a sector of folks that maybe they have to work at night, or maybe they have to miss work to come to meetings. And this would allow and be more inclusive of different pay scales, different groups that represent different pay scales, not just the wealthier of the group. Not saying that we're wealthy, but it includes a different sector. And so it's up for you all to talk about. If we adjust, if we set, Kelsey's not here, so I don't know if you could tie some sort of a cost of living or something to it like we would city staff. But I really would like to hear everybody's input. It definitely got some notoriety in the public, so please.
I guess my feeling is, I don't know this is the right time to be having this conversation. I know it'll be implemented later down the road, and it's not right now. But when cost of living just keeps going up for everybody, for us to be talking about a pay raise for a position that, quite frankly, I didn't know I was going to get paid to do to start with when I ran. Was a little surprised when I got my first paycheck. Like yesterday, I filled up my truck, and it was $100 and something to fill up my truck with gas. So that's a big hit, and I know that, but that's what everybody's feeling. So I guess I don't feel comfortable even having this conversation right now when everybody's feeling a hit like we haven't felt in a while in our country. I just don't know that it sits right with me to have that conversation right now.
Kind of echo off what Ken's saying is, I don't think anybody did this job for the compensation, the $100 a month, you know. But I get what you're saying, Mayor, is like it needs to be at some time, adjusted and addressed and things like that with inflation and whatnot. Couple different points in my mind. One is if anything was going to be adjusted, I would rather have it be all in uniform. So like if something was adjusted, all go into effect in 2028, all in unison to all council people, so it's all even. The second thing is, like I was just kind of doing, they did it by population. I do my math a little bit different. I do it by hours. The amount of hours I put in, I figured I'd probably get paid like $5 an hour, whatever. Just kind of so the community kind of realizes like how many hours that we put in versus what we're getting paid. Some months it's more, some months it's less. But back to what Ken was saying, I think like, I saw this on the bullet point last Friday. And I would love to get like community opinion and stuff like that and stuff. So I would lean towards tabling this to a different time.
I will say that I understand where you're both coming from completely. One of the things we need to think about here, though, is there's a lot of research about this that's out there that we can review and read. There are some real dangers to both overcompensating city council members and mayors, but there's also a lot of downsides to undercompensating them as well. Mainly being what the mayor was saying about how we might just cut out a whole section of people who want to serve but just can't because they don't have the time. It's not financially in it for them to do it. And I would encourage us, if we do table it, that we do that research. One of the ideas that I had was that if we do vote to raise it, why don't we, if there's a possibility that we could tie it to each individual chair here. So let's say in 2 years, we vote to raise it. In 2 years, we run again. Michelle and Ken get reelected. Their pay stays the same, but whoever would take this chair would then get the raise. I know that creates a lot of disparity, and it probably might be a little bit more of a headache for City Hall. But, I mean, that is one way to have the best of kind of both worlds. Like, if I'm in this chair for 30 years, that would be great, and I got $1,200 a year, that's great, that's perfect. I'm not in here for the money. I don't think any of us here is, but there is some real value into looking into, being able to attract a wider talent pool into places like this. And so I would just encourage us all to, if we table it, to just dive into the research.
I do think that this is something we need to talk about. Ken, I think all of us are feeling, the pinch of finances with inflation. But I think I'd rather look at this now. I'd be open to tabling it and addressing it in the near future, but rather doing it now so we can do small increments versus leaving it for another 20 years and doing a larger increase at that time. That's harder on the budget. So I also would be in favor, like Derek said, of increasing everyone at the same time. I don't like the idea of different people having different compensation for the same job.
It's funny because I thought Mayor Stockman put this on. I thought I had a conversation with him, but we didn't. I had this thought a couple months ago. I don't. It's not about the compensation per se, but I do think our time is should be valued, And I do think that there could be other candidates out there that may want to run or not run, but then also to see, I think it's a good time just to review and maybe let the community know exactly what we do and all the committees we sit on, the commitment involved. And I think it's a good time to look at all of that. I'm very open to both sides. I do think there should be at least a maybe tiny cost of living, maybe not appropriately. We'd have to look at that, that we could implement. But I would want some direction, obviously, from Kelsey to look at this and see what would be the best way to implement this, what would be fair. But I think, looking at a compensation being the same over the last 20 years is a slight. So I would. Hold, please. I would make a motion. Let's see here. What am I going to make a motion on? I guess I would make a motion on looking at doing some possible action regarding the mayor and alderperson compensation and adopting to the second reading and doing some research with staff. Wait, is that not right? You guys are all looking up. Because I don't.
There are no readings.
Oh, we need to set it, or what are we doing? Are we
There's
setting?
no ordinance.
There's no
You
ordinance.
can table this or you can vote on it.
I want to table this and get some more research
By directing city staff to do anything?
by
or
city
just-
staff. Can we do a committee? Can we do a public forum? What can we do? Sorry, hold the motion.
Okay, so I'm hearing, interest on both sides to maybe dig into this a little bit more. So, I don't know that the last time we threw a committee together, we had a lot of headaches, so let's not do that. Do we want to direct city staff to put some numbers together or put together a rough outline of what it might look like? And then it gives us time to do our own research? I don't want to create the motion though, so what do you guys think?
Just for clarification too, for the research, I did reach out to all the clerks in the state of Wisconsin and brought this information back to Paul, and then he went through and put it together. So that is the information that was specifically asked for, was what is your mayor and alderperson compensation. I did not ask anything about how they came up with that, whether if they had any type of cost of living raises or if there was anything specifically on every year they look at, every 2 years, et cetera. So again, it was just a straight, what are your mayor and alderperson compensation?
Jenny, question for point of order. If we table something, at what point does it come back onto the agenda? Or do we table it and we say, hey, let's table it to this certain date?
No, look at our attorney, because normally when you table it, if it goes to the next agenda. Can we table it to a future
Well,
agenda?
if we went according to Robert's rules, it would be table until X date. Otherwise, you'd have a motion to table, and then there'd need to be a motion to bring it off the table. It gets a bit involved if you don't do that. Or you just put it back on the agenda and nobody is concerned about Robert's Rules of Order, I guess. So, but no, I think if you want to keep it moving along, if you want to have a motion to table, it is appropriate to at least state a date by which it should be reviewed, and then if it's brought back up and you're still not ready to make a decision, that's fine. You can, ask for more research again.
I do like Charlotte's idea, though, of possibly doing something like a public forum, or there's some way that we can engage the community in this discussion, because it is obviously it's something that's going to be important to them, and they need to have a voice in it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that was brought up on the community page. I did notice that. And I think that is, something the community should have maybe send a voice in and kind of throw out there, say, like kind of like Derek stated, by, this is how many hours I'm doing, this is how much I'm getting compensated for, this is how, this is where the other mayors and other people are getting compensated for, this is the different, payouts. What does our own city feel about compensating the elder and mayor in our own town? I think that is very important because we are working for our community. And I also feel that we should table it as well. I don't think a lot of people know that we do get compensated, so I think it was a surprise to a lot of the people in the community. So I would agree with tabling this for now and trying to get some more community feedback on this as well.
While I appreciate public forums, I'm all about transparency. I'm, again, all for that. The public can be here to talk. The meeting is held the same time every month. The agenda is posted publicly. So I do want the public to be here and voice their opinion, and they're given the opportunity, and I would like them to, come to these meetings. So I'm not sure a public forum would be well attended. I would rather that, we table it, they can come speak at a city council meeting.
So that all being said is I think all of us have our own unique processes to get community engagement and all that, but I am going to make a motion that we table this until the first meeting of September.
This is a minimal cost in the city's budget, no matter what direction we go in.
There's a
so-
motion on the table. And seeing no second, it will die.
I second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Now we can discuss. Question, Charlotte?
I think we should table it for a future meeting, June 2nd. The longer things are out there, the less attention they receive. Yeah, in 2 meetings. That gives us enough time, I think, to do our research, to look into things. So those are my opinions. I would also want to direct city staff to, and this is not a motion, this is my opinion, to ask city staff to look into how those municipalities came up with that and how often they review these compensations.
I appreciate your opinion on that, Molly. I would just say is with the priority of things to be focusing our time on right now, this is just a non-urgent item, and that's why I kind of suggested the September. Just kind of gets past the summer and things like that, and gets into the budgeting season talks. To me, 2 meetings from now versus 1 meeting and now, then it'd just be a normal table. I think it gives us all. By giving us some time, it gives us due diligence to do our own unique processes and digest things. So I would want to have more time than just 30 days.
Also, I think the extended time that puts less of a time crunch on city staff if we want them to do research for us. Give them a little bit more grace there, and a little more period. And to be clear, I don't have an issue with this. I just don't think now is the time.
Any further discussion? So the motion is to table this until September. Should this motion not pass, then there might be another motion that comes up. But seeing no more discussion, then we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 10, discussion and possible action regarding Resolution 2026-09 in support of Clean Sweep.
The city has been involved in the Rock County Clean Sweep program for several years now. They do rotate which cities those collection sites are being held in. This year, the Rock County is being hosted in Janesville and Beloit, I believe. It does come every few years to the city of Milton, but this is all open to city of Milton residents. And clean sweep dates are June 13th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the City of Beloit Public Works Building, and Saturday, August 23rd at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Rock County Public Works Garage in Janesville. This resolution shows the city's support for this program.
Is there any questions?
I would move to approve resolution number 2026-09 in support of clean sweep.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 11, discussion and possible action regarding the appointment of a City of Milton Weed Commissioner.
Milton Code of Ordinance, Section 2-491, requires the mayor to appoint a weed commissioner and requires the confirmation by a majority vote of the common council. The weed commissioner performs the duties listed in Ordinance Section 26-72. There's no additional fiscal impact for this position. City administration recommends that the mayor appoint and the common council approve the appointment of Blaine Larson from Code Enforcement as the weed commissioner for the City of Milton from May 5th, 2026 to May 3rd, 2027.
Just got a couple questions of curiosity. I know Blaine does a good job. How long has Blaine been the weed commissioner now in Milton?
I believe it's only been 2 or 3 years. It was switched over from Paul Smith, who was in Department of Public Works, and it made more sense for all code enforcement, including weeds, noxious weeds, to go through code enforcement compared to Public Works. So I can double check, but it's either 2 or 3 years.
And the follow-up question is, from my understanding, Blaine works how many hours, like part-time, right? Like is it 20 hours or?
20 hours.
20 hours per week.
Do we typically have a lot of people applying for the weed commissioner job, or is this, because I feel like we really don't have a say in this.
Yeah, the council and mayor absolutely have a say in this. I don't believe there was an application. I think we are just requesting that you place that duty on our code enforcement officer.
Okay, thank you. There's a little bit of humor.
I have not signed up.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Blaine Larson from Code Enforcement as the weed commissioner for the City of Milton from May 5th, 2026 to May 3rd, 2027.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Number 12, discussion and possible action on amending the listing contract for Crossroads Business Park.
In 2024, the city signed a contract with CBC McGuire Mears and Associates to sell parcels in the Crossroads Business Park. The current contract expires in May of 2026. CBC Myers, Mears and Associates have been representing the city for over 10 years, selling parcels in the Crossroads Business Park. The Common Council has amended the contract in the past to continue this agreement. The expenses for selling the properties will come from the proceeds of that sale. Administration recommends approval of the amendment to the listing contract for Crossroads Business Park for 1 year.
Any questions or comments for Paul or a motion?
Would move to approve the amendment to the listing contract for Crossroads Business Park for 1 year.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? That motion carries. Number 13, discussion and possible action regarding the acceptance of a donation for South Goodrich Park.
The Parks Commission had two parties come forward wanting to donate $5,000 each. According to the new policy, those do need to be approved by the City Council. MC Cronin, Mike Cronin, and Infinite Wealth Management, Haley and Scott Wettig, each are willing to donate $5,000. This will go to South Goodrich Park for softball diamond maintenance, mostly putting in an outfield fence, new dugout benches, and concrete for dugouts and for the score shed. The Parks Committee is also has approved $8,182.04 to match that to make those improvements in South Goodrich Park. So,
That's awesome.
Council, City Administration requests Council approve the donations.
I make a motion to accept the donation for South Goodrich Park.
Second.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? That motion carries. Number 14, discussion and possible action regarding the 2026-2027 committee, commission, and board appointments.
Since the last meeting, we've had additional committee appointments. These are citizen appointments. Plan Commission, Shane Butchen and Nicholas Kloss, have stated that they would like to be reappointed to the Plan Commission and Community Development Authority. I've confirmed with John Pethel and Catherine Wright they would like to be appointed to the Community Development Authority. Mayor Stockman has reviewed these and recommended them for approval, and now we just need council confirmation.
I guess I would move to approve the committee, commission, and board appointments for 2026, 2027.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Number 15, general items. Start with committee reports. If anybody has one to share.
We had library board last night.
You gonna take that away from Ashley? Or?
Yeah, well, we discussed this. Don't try to
I'm sorry,
bump up
Alder.
on me.
Alder
No,
Smith.
don't
No,
play.
go.
We discussed this. No, we had a great time. Going off of some of our notes here, a lot of good things are happening. There's the chicks that always get donated. They got a $700 grant from 2026 East Asia in the Wisconsin Library Program for through the Central East Asian Studies of UW-Madison. And all of this is going to go, correct me if I'm wrong here, a team book club featuring the book I Love You So Muchi. Moochie. Oh, I was that close. Each participant will get a copy of the book as well as a Moochie cookbook. And they'll also, I don't know what Moochie is, by the way. They'll also make Moochie as part of the discussion. And so and then they're going to use some of the remaining funds to buy some mahjong and sets and things like that. And aren't you guys going to have classes and all that? So that's pretty cool. And then there's some funding from the Youth Coalition they purchased hammocks that you can check out if you want to read and go out to the Story Gardens, and they'll have them set up in the summertime, and people can go out and lay in the hammocks and have a great time. Yeah, flip over, yeah. But no, that's it.
It's now abundantly clear why you had Ken give that report. That's great. He had to say Moochie 4 times.
It was in here. I didn't write that sheet yet.
Any other committee reports to share?
Yeah, Parks and Rec met about the donations, so excited to get some upgrades to that softball diamond, much needed. And super excited if you drive past the Veterans Park. There is a new plaque up there honoring Richard Fry. That pavilion is now named after him. So very, very exciting. It looks great. Stop by, take a look. I thought I reported on that last meeting, but we did plant 3 new trees in Railroad Park for Arbor Day, April 21st. I know the Arbor Day is 20th, but I think we planted them on the 21st. So, yeah, go check out the new trees as well.
C-Day met. We approved. We nominated. We're good.
Is that a report? Okay, then we're good. We're good.
We discussed it all right here.
All right then, staff reports. If we want to start with Paul.
Last Monday, Milton Youth Football and I hosted a public meeting to get input on the new park design. 2 or 3 families came. They were very happy with the new designs. They were really happy that their input was taken. And I've had another phone call from another resident of that area saying they're very happy with this. We are moving forward. Hopefully within the next meeting or 2, we will have an agreement with Milton Youth Football to move forward and start building that park. Second, John Paul Stearns Road and Sunset project is just going really, really smoothly. Obviously, that's a really busy intersection. Really like to thank the contractor. They are doing a fantastic job working with the public and getting the job done and trying to make it as painless as possible on everyone. Merchant Row sidewalk, curb and gutter is progressing. After that, we will be redoing the pavement, mill and overlay of that pavement on Merchant Row. And then we are starting to see some more commercial and residential development questions and proposals coming into my office, and those you will be seeing over the next couple months.
Clerk Salvo.
So our current vacancies for committee, commission, and board appointments, we still do need an alternate for zoning board of appeals and also student members. We need a middle school member for Parks and Recreation Commission and a high school member for the Community Development Authority. So I encourage anyone who is interested to please share. And then I do also want to let you know, Weed Commissioner Blaine Larson has been the Weed Commissioner since 2024. So, in case you were curious with that. And one other item that came up is we do have our newsletter that goes out in the utility bills. If there's anything that the public or council would like to see in it, please send that information so we can share it with our staff. That did come up of, usually our leadership staff puts together those newsletters as far as the information, but we'd like to branch it out and see what other people are interested in.
All right, thank you. Ashley, did Alder Smith miss anything?
We had a very successful food truck rally on Sunday, so thank you to everyone who came out for that. The weather stopped raining just before. It was a little windy, but it's probably one of our busiest food truck rallies in a while, so thank you for everyone for coming out.
Great, thank you. And Chief?
Some of this might be slightly redundant from the last, but all points worth noting. Officer Swartz is moving quickly through our field training process. If all things go well, he'll be to solo patrol before Jax Wells joins us on May 18th. With our last hiring process, we selected 2 candidates, and both accepted and have advanced, and we just started their background process today. We also have our detective promotional interviews this Thursday. Those internal candidates will likely be notified then Friday for that position, which could create more vacancies down the road and potentially other positions. As far as training for some staff, we had some more notable trainings attended, longer timelines. Officer Zebel attended a 3-day frontline leadership course at the end of last month, and Officer Ryan Schneider attended the Wisconsin Association of Identification Conference, which is geared towards evidence technicians with best practices and some tabletop stuff that they do for that. Next week, I'll be out of the office at the FBI LEDA's Supervisor Leadership Institute training. So I've knocked out one of those a few years back, and there's 2 more week-long courses that, as part of that trilogy series that I'm working to complete. Other than that, just busy with promotional processes and hiring right now.
All right, thank you. All right, so team building exercise. I need to preface this to say the city of Milton does not condone fighting at any level. It's non-consensual. So if you're going to hurt someone, please call the local police if they're not into it. But I will say, if you're going to get into a fight and you can only bring 1 vegetable with you, what would you bring? This is Molly, Alder Budlock. She's been asking for this for almost a month now, right? So, which vegetable would you bring to the altercation? Go.
It seems painfully obvious to me. A carrot, especially frozen. It's pointed, so it's for piercing. If it's frozen, you can also sharpen it. It becomes a great weapon. Of all the vegetables out there, it seems the most weapon-like to me.
I'm gonna, a parsnip, Ken. They're stronger than carrots. And they also are a little bit stockier, so you can throw them better. So,
Why would you throw your weapon away?
if you need to.
Well, I'm cheating a little. I was already thinking gourd, gourd of some sort. But apparently the bushel gourd is a massive kettle-shaped hard-shelled gourd that can reach up to 5 feet in diameter.
Ooh.
Whap.
I'll say like an acorn squash, because those are pretty hardy, and you can just chuck that at somebody's head.
I would do an onion. And I would put it in their eyes. Not throwing, but I could if I had to.
I'm gonna go with cabbage for blunt impact weapon, either thrown or struck with. I've thought about this slightly just now. And then as it would tear apart upon impact, you could use it to pack into your offender's mouth.
Can I ask a question of the cop and the former cop in the room? Have you ever seen a fight with a vegetable?
No, never needed to.
Only tomatoes thrown at people.
So here's my answer. Is corn. Some ears of corn. And because I would try, traditionally corns are given in a matter of trying to solidify peace. And I would use that corn, make some popcorn, say, hey, let's sit down, watch a movie, let's relax a second. Do we have to fight, for goodness sake? And I suppose they could turn into nice little thumpers too, I suppose, at the same time. But corn's for peace.
That's actually brilliant, just to bounce off that. Because if it has the husk, it's almost like a nunchuck.
Animal
No, this is Derek's fight, don't wreck it. Okay, who else? Michelle?
I was gonna say zucchini. They grow big and they're solid. So if you had to take it and like hit it like a baseball bat at somebody, you would probably knock them down.
I really don't want to hurt anybody, so I'm going to say a tomato because it makes a mess and you can throw it and then get away. So that is where I'm going to go with it.
I'll say potato, just a bag of potatoes, start chucking them.
I was originally going to go with carrot, but I'll switch it up, and I'll go with watermelon. Just because its sheer mass is going to knock someone over, and then you can stomp their face. And who gets hit with a watermelon doesn't say, did you just chuck a watermelon at me? And it becomes a joke then, and we're laughing, and we're friends again. So, all right, your turn out there. Front and center.
Stopped his face.
Oh,
The attorney.
He's just trying to figure out the liability of this entire conversation.
I thought of a fruit like a pineapple has some heft and it's kind of
Ooh.
weighty. You can do some damage with that, but it's a fruit obviously.
yeah, they just reminded me so is a watermelon, so sorry, guys. Mark, I missed you, I'm sorry. Such a wise man. Okay. All right, thank you all for playing along. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right, so our next meeting date is May 19th, 2026. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So, second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.